that, but it's the most passive way for the average person to not really do any work. Just throw it in an S&P, like nothing crazy, just plain vanilla. Just
Yeah.
keep it basic. You want to do crazy stuff, then go for it.
And
But
I'm excited to break down the details of the policies that you're going to be reviewing in a second. But guys, oftentimes a lot of financial professionals, I would say the ethical side of finance, typically will say get a term life policy and invest the rest. That's a very Ramsey-like. He says it a lot. But often, I think most financial professionals that have good hearts are going to typically say that as a general rule of thumb. Now, not every one size fits all. We understand that. But typically, it would make sense in most people's situation to term life for insurance purposes only. Make sure you're covering that death benefit in case the worst thing happens. And then put all your other cash flow into the S&P 500 fund or let's say a taxable brokerage with good low cost index funds and ETFs to where you're growing that money. Now, I've heard a lot of different arguments. I've heard, it's a forced savings. I'm like, that's crazy. You can just set up an automation one time and it's a forced savings.
right, right.
I've heard a lot of different crazy takes that are comical,
I'm like,
actually.
instead of having the insurance company take your money every month, just have Fidelity take it, or Vanguard, or
You you
Schwab,
would
wherever. I
you
don't care.
would think, and the reason that is because people don't have an actual financial plan to understand their cash flow. So what happens? This little insurance agent bug gets into their ear, and they say, you know what? It sounds like a great idea to just take your money instead, and it's going to go to my pocket, and most of the premium is going to go straight to me.
Yeah, yeah.
and that's how they position this, but they position it as some like wealthy tool that the Rockefellers use. Guys, the Rockefellers are not even in this conversation. The Rockefellers are so far above every one of us even talking about this that, yeah, that might make sense for a billionaire, one of the richest families of all time, but that does not apply to the everyday American. And so to use that comparison is crazy. Because Bill Gates does something or because Warren Buffett does something, Jeff Bezos does something, does not mean it's applicable to you. You're not living the same type of lifestyle, and that's a very important piece of conversation.
Yeah.
And so that's really, really important to talk about. But what other things do you see and hear in the industry of like the selling tactics or
Yeah.
the
And you know what? Before I break down these illustrations, I want to kind of go over some red flags, because I think once you can spot out the red flags, you can run the other way, and it'll save you, time on a pointless conversation to get your hopes up high, but hopefully thousands of dollars, right? So after these 1,000 reviews, I'm telling you, the average monthly premium on these were about 800 to 1,200 bucks a month, right? I could not believe what I was seeing, and I'm like, the opportunity cost here that people are going to realize over a long period of time. And what that made me realize, I go, people are motivated to save money.